What's happening, everybody? Jay Shockblast here, and man, oh man, we finally have all characters unlocked in LEGO Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and there's quite a few characters there. 237 characters and variations of characters as part of the actual core game, and then there are already 4 character packs potentially available if you have the right circumstances as part of the launch. There's the Jedi Character Pack, the Empire Strikes Back Pack, the Droid Pack, and the Jabba's Palace Pack. All 4 of those available at launch, again, depending on your situation. Fortunately for me, my situation dictated that I have all of them, as you can see right here. That is a pretty full grid. Lots of characters, lots of variations of characters, so pretty cool stuff. Obviously, I'm going to make my top 10 favorite character video, and as always, I start off with 2 honorable mentions. Now, these aren't necessarily my 11 and 12 on the list, but they're 2 characters that I appreciate and thought I would mention for various reasons. So the first one is this one right here, R2KT. Now, I hate the color pink, personally. I mean, for me, I'm a dude, and I'm very much a dude's dude. I would never wear pink. It's not my thing. I'm sorry. But I adore this droid, because this droid has a very nice symbolic meaning. R2KT was created by Albin Johnson, who is the founder of the 501st Legion, and it's a tribute to his daughter Katie, who was diagnosed with terminal brain cancer. At this point, I believe Katie has passed away, which, you know, the folks at Star Wars, not just George Lucas, but, you know, all the people behind the scenes in general, have always gotten it, you know, when it comes to the fact that this really is for kids. The 501st Legion, if you're not familiar, is basically groups of fans that they're like a club. They enjoy getting together and cosplaying and just basically being fans of Star Wars. And you'll see them all the time at Comic-Cons and conventions. And this character right here, R2KT, and hats off to TT Games for also including it. You know, this character has been brought to life. It was a basically fan fiction character that was created, you know, as a tribute. And R2KT has appeared in the Clone Wars and a couple different episodes of the Clone Wars. And they even put her, I guess you could say her, in Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I hope I said The Force Awakens in the intro. I keep saying The Force Unleashed, so I apologize if I do that. So how awesome is that? This character was created as a tribute, and now it exists as canon in the Star Wars universe and was actually in a movie. That is awesome. So now it's in a video game, and Katie's memory will live on forever. So this is definitely my favorite droid. Now, one of the other things that we end up dealing with quite a bit in Star Wars is we deal with various troopers, and the Flame Trooper is definitely my favorite trooper. Honestly, this probably is my 11th favorite character, just because of how awesome the character is, just visually and everything. So I had to give a shout out to the Flame Trooper. Now here's the thing, this is where I'm mad at TT Games. I believe Sideshow Collectibles has this piece available right now, and the second I'm done with this video, I love this so much that I'm pretty much going to go order it. So not only did I buy this game for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PlayStation Vita, and I got the strategy guide, and I got all that other stuff, now they're making me go spend like another $240 to get the Sideshow piece. But I'm mad, not mad, because awesome. So anyway, without any further ado, man, let's go ahead and get started with the top 10 list. Now, there's so many characters in this game that you would think it was complicated to come up with a top 10 list, but I'm going to be honest with you. I shot that thing out really quick. And I'm going to start with number 10 on my list, Might be a surprise for some, but the Imperial Royal Guard. I just want to say this was one of the first Star Wars figures that I owned when I was a child, and I adored this figure. I didn't really quite understand that he was not that important. Well, I mean, they are important. They are elite soldiers in the Empire, and they're thought of so highly that they are tasked with actually protecting the Emperor. And but I didn't understand that, because for me it was this awesome red figure that had a cape, and the mask was just awesome. And for me, this might as well have been Darth Vader. In some ways, even looks cooler than Darth Vader. So having this this character in the game, really special to me. Having grown up as such a huge fan of the Imperial Guard. I had a mini bust that Gentle Giant made that I bought like instantly, and there are some statues and things out there that I want to get. I just haven't had the time to do it. But this is a character that I love and adore, so there was no doubt in my mind when I saw it that it was going to make it onto my top 10 list. So let's move on to number 9, and speaking of those who have departed, Christopher Lee, rest in peace. Count Dooku, not my favorite character in the Star Wars universe, but I so appreciate the attention to detail, just the absolute amazingness of his animations, just the faces he makes, the way he holds his lightsaber with one hand, and I missed it in my video, but he does his Force lightning. The attention to even his lightsaber with a curled hook to the bottom of it. Just a really epic version of the character. Even his jumps are majestic. I don't remember who commented, but somebody commented in the video for Count Dooku that they wish that if you held down X, they did a force jump. I understand why they didn't do it, because there's some areas where you have to kind of platform to get to it, and they want you to kind of do that, but I do not disagree at all. It would have been epic. And I love the way that when he is not busy, he just stands at attention with his arms behind his back. And look at that. I mean, just even that, you know, he always carried himself so strongly and so, like, you know, unafraid of anything around him, you know. So Count Dooku is number 9 on my list, and a really great version of the character. At number 8, now number 8 is actually, I prefer, I'm going to actually list both of them, but my preference is for the Chancellor Palpatine. I am not a big fan of the Emperor. I think he's just ugly and disgusting looking, but they did such a fantastic job with both the Emperor and the Chancellor. Now my preference is the Chancellor version, because I love his red robes. I wish he had a cape, or even like a little bit more of a robe, just because that's kind of how he looked when he was the Chancellor. I love the faces he makes, and like how he kind of walks like a zombie. Just such a great, again, attention to detail. This is a absolute forte of TT games, in this case TT Fusion, I believe, where they just have such great attention to what they're doing. Gold hilt to the lightsaber, you know. Palpatine carried himself that way, like he was the supreme ruler of the world, and just a lot of really awesome animations about him. So, oh, look at that. I just love, you know, I love, one of the great scenes is Yoda fighting Palpatine, and you wouldn't expect either one of them to be so agile, but they are. So, number 8 on my list is Chancellor Palpatine. Not Emperor, but I wanted to show him anyway. Moving on to number 7, and, you know, this game does a really great job of introducing us to Captain Phasma. So, let's all face it. When we saw Gwendolyn, I forget her name, totally blanking here. When we saw her listed as being a part of Star Wars, Um, let's see, Captain Phasma, Gwendolyn Christie. I knew it was Gwendolyn something. When we saw that she was attached to Star Wars, and then saw her character in the armor, the silver stormtrooper with the black cape and the red stripe, everybody was in absolute awe and wanted to know more about this character. This was by far the coolest looking stormtrooper we had ever seen, especially the chromed out silver look. And then we get to the movie, and it was utter disappointment. I mean, you know, I get it, but I mean, they made her a bit of a joke. And what I love about this game is that even though she still kind of fudges up a little bit here and there, we get to kind of understand Phasma a little bit more. We see a little bit more of Phasma, and quite frankly, this is still one of the coolest looking characters in all of Star Wars. Like, it's amazing how simply throwing some chrome paint and making the stormtrooper look more metallic, you know, what that does for a character. So, you know, while I wish that they made the character a lot stronger in the movie, and I hope they make the character a lot stronger in Episode 8, because we know she did not die in that trash compactor or on Starkiller Base. I am completely happy with the character and just how the character looks in LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. So that is my number 7 character. And the first character that's actually in this movie, which there's actually only 3 that make my list that were in the movie. So at number 6, and I'm going to be honest, I possibly could have put this character higher, but I know it's a favorite, and I'm sorry that he's hidden behind exclusive DLC on the PlayStation 4, but General Grievous is just too awesome with his 4 lightsabers and just the absolute awesome animation, which they very well may have taken from LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars, but I don't care. He's just such a great character, and it's so epic to watch him, you know, kind of play and do his thing. I just want to use him in everything, and he even has like that asthma, you know, asthma and Phasma. So General Grievous is number 6 on my list. Again, you know, I really wish that he was available for everybody, but what can you do? So that leads us to our top 5, and at number 5, I did not expect this character to make my list because I didn't expect the character to be playable, but the Rancor. Look at that monstrous beast. A huge figure. Reminds me a lot about how I felt about Fin Fang Foom in LEGO Marvel's Avengers. Just a character that is nowhere near being on my radar, and I just absolutely love it. I wish there was a Force Unleashed version of this Rancor just to make it that much better. He's not very useful, even though he does run way faster than I was expecting. Which, this is, believe it or not, way faster than I was expecting. He does not jump, which would have been awesome if you could jump and then just do like a pound fist, but man, the Rancor is just so awesome. You do have to fight a Rancor on Jakku in order to get a carbonite, so there's that. But man, I just love it, you know, and it's just such a great character to play with, and he had to make it my top 5, and I had not seen that yet. So every time you think you see it all, there's something just a little bit different. At number 4, I had to do it. I had to do it. It is Darth Maul, and Darth Maul is epic. He always is, with his double-sided red Sith lightsaber, and you know, his maniacal look, the way he hunches over just a little bit. Look at that. His crown of thorns that he wears because of his race. But man, Darth Maul, I think we're all really excited to see him in the game, and just a completely epic, awesome character. So yeah, man, Darth Maul, he doesn't disappoint at all. I think this is, so far out of all the videos I've made, this is the most popular one, I believe, how to unlock Darth Maul, and he was the first character that I made sure I unlocked from Carbonite, so that says it all, man. Darth Maul, and I'm just a huge Ray Park fan, you know? Ray Park's awesome. So number 4 on my list is Darth Maul. At number at number 3, now number 2 and number 3 go back and forth, but I had to go with this character at number 3. Where is he at? Here he is. It is Kylo Ren, another character that we saw and were just mesmerized by, you know, as part of the launch, the lead up to The Force Awakens. And I also want to show off my custom character to go with him. That is right, it is Matt, the radar technician. No, he is definitely not Kylo Ren. So Kylo Ren, you know, he's a little whiny, very much like his Uncle Luke, but, you know, he's so powerful. And one of the things that I really love about him is the way that they, and I have to go find something to fight, but the way they incorporated his stopping the blaster bolts. He can stop the blaster bolts in the air as his, like, special move, and he ends up like shooting them back outward, and it attacks you know, other characters that are you know, enemies that are around him. Just so epic. I love the way his lightsaber looks. You know, it makes a lot of sense, I think. Not everybody could wield it, but for what he does and how he does it, I think it works really well. I love his hooded look, personally. There are 3 different versions of Kylo Ren. He is unmasked, which, you know, is the Adam Driver version. Then there is also just the regular one with just his helmet. So Kylo Ren is number 3 on my top 10 favorite list. So we need to get rid of Matt the Technician, because coming in at number 2, we have a character who is pretty awesome. And that is Rey, and my favorite is Resistance Rey, because she has her lightsaber, she has her staff, she has her gun, so she can do a little bit of everything, which is pretty epic. It used to be that Quinlan Vos was known as the only Jedi with a lightsaber, or a gun, and that's quickly changed over the years through the Clone Wars, and now, I mean, I guess Rey isn't technically a Jedi yet, but, you know, you see Finn with a gun, you see Rey with a gun and a lightsaber, both of them in this movie, so it kind of changed the world a little bit. I love Rey. I adore Daisy Ridley. She's such a great character. And there are a few different versions of Rey. You know, you've got her scavenger costume. You've got Starkiller Base, which is really just a scuffed up Rey. You've got Takadona. You've got Young Rey. Oops. Young Rey, where she's a little girl. And you have just plain old Rey, which I don't really know what the difference between her and Takadona Rey is. Maybe it's like the gear she has. Oh, there's also Junction Box Rey, where it looks like she's wearing what's his face's Poe Dameron's jacket. But Resistance Rey is my favorite. I just, you know, I use this character a lot. Probably helps that this is like the default character that when you load up the game that you start with her and Chewbacca. And that's probably the reason why I end up using her so much. But she's very, very useful. She's very athletic. She's got the lightsaber. She's got the gun. She's got her staff, which just makes her very useful. And that's really a great reason to love her. I really wanted to get Poe Dameron on the list because I love pilots. But alas, I did not. So that gets us to my favorite character in the game. Now, when I was thinking of doing the list, I was going to use this character as number 1 and number 2 because there are 2 versions of Boba Fett in the game, but I decided that's kind of cheating. So I want to feature both of them. As you saw in a lot of my videos, I used, this is the second, like her and Rey, the prototype Boba Fett and Rey are the two characters I probably use the most throughout the game. Boba Fett is my favorite character in the Star Wars universe out of any of the 7 movies. Obviously my favorite character in general is Darth Revan, then Darth Malak, and third Darth Bane, and none of them are involved in any of the movies, even though Darth Bane started the Rule of 2. He was kind of mentioned a little bit. But Boba Fett, I think he's the only character that can actually hover a little bit, and I love his prototype armor. It would have been cool if they used his prototype mask too, but I don't know what it is. It's something really cool about using him all white. What would even be cooler is if they found a way to include his Christmas special suit in the game. That would be absolutely epic. Maybe as they always do, like a free thank you DLC. That would be really cool if they could do something like that. But you know, Boba Fett, I think, is next to Darth Vader and Yoda and Luke Skywalker. I think that's like the top 4 most popular characters in the Star Wars universe. I think you could probably alternate the 4 of them pretty intermittently or interchangeably as who is the more popular, but I'm just a huge Boba fan, and I'm just glad he's in the game. I know the game focuses on Episode 7, but it's just really cool that they did use so many classic characters, and I appreciate the usage of Boba Fett in both his prototype and classic look. So there we have it, folks. Those are my top 10 favorite characters of Lego Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would love to hear who some of your top 10 favorite characters are. It would be really great to hear. Even though there are a lot of characters in this game, over 250 so far, a lot of them are just fluff. And it's hard to take that many characters out of one movie, even though there's lots of characters there. So there are so many background characters that we used. I'm looking forward to hopefully the next Star Wars game, including Rogue One characters and Episode 8 characters. I think we can wait a little while and hopefully get 2 movies worth included in that game, and then maybe by then Darth Revan will be canon again, even though I think he is, because they're making a figure. Hasbro's making a figure of him. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. We'll see ya.